Welcome to Passive Cash Flow. Have you ever pondered, with just a mere $100 in your pocket, how it could possibly transform into a larger sum? Regrettably, this is not a lesson taught in schools. If it were, it would have been an invaluable addition to our education. Due to this knowledge gap, the prospect of investing can seem daunting for novices. However, in today's video, I aim to demystify this process for you. Investing has been the stepping stone to my journey of becoming a multimillionaire. Can you guess what I started with? That's right, just $100, perhaps even less. I'm not implying that amassing wealth is a walk in the park, but with calculated risks, you can incrementally grow your wealth over time. I understand that everyone has a different risk tolerance. Therefore, today, I will guide you on how to invest for beginners with $100. As we delve deeper into the video, the risk level will progressively increase. So, buckle up and join me on this exciting journey of investment. But don't forget that, as the risk goes higher, so does the possible reward. I will also show you that I mean what I say by putting $100 of my own money into each of these options so you can see exactly how they work. I'm about to do something I never imagined I would actually do. Are you ready? When someone asks me how they should invest $100, I usually say, invest in yourself. You can do this by reading books and enhancing your skills. But if you've already done that, now we're going to discuss the specific places where you can allocate your money. These are just some of the methods I've used to invest my money over the years, and they've been successful for me. You can also relax and enjoy, because I'm not going to try and sell you anything in the end. Just remember, if you like the video, then press that like button, because it really helps spread this video to more people, and also think about subscribing if you want to increase your wealth. The first investment is a high-interest savings account. This is the lowest level of risk you can take, a 1 out of 10 on the risk scale. Finding a savings account that offers a high interest rate is very difficult these days, but that's not why it's on the list. You're actually building what I like to call an emergency fund by putting your money into a savings account, which I think is essential for everyone. This is money that you can access if something unforeseen occurs, and it has very little risk. And by keeping money available, you can prevent getting into debt and paying exorbitant fees. I recall when I purchased my first apartment, I encountered a small problem after about 2 months, when the hot water system malfunctioned and needed to be replaced. My emergency fund came in handy and saved me over $200 because I didn't have to resort to a payday loan. Your money loses its value over time when you keep it in the bank. So I look for 2 things when I search for the best savings account to combat this. The first thing, obviously, is a good interest rate. A high interest rate which depends on the economy, mostly. The second thing is having the ability to access my money instantly. Some banks that are really worth considering and always have a good interest rate are Ally Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and Citibank. Currently, I have an account with Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and their interest rate is 0.7%. Not very high, but currently one of the best possible. That's it, simple and easy, $100 deposited into my savings account. Now for gold, often regarded as a safe haven. I will also give it a 2 out of 10 on the risk scale. Did you know that since the Federal Reserve was established in 1913, the US dollar has lost 95% of its value? So you're actually only left with 5% of its original purchasing power. So if you want to prevent your money from losing value, then maybe gold is for you. If you had a gold nugget worth $100 in 2000, it would now be worth about $580. The gold nugget hasn't actually changed in size. It's still the same piece of metal, but what has actually changed is the value of your dollar, compared to how much gold you can buy with it. Gold was actually the original currency of our ancestors. I remember those days well. It's perfect, because it can't be manufactured, and it lasts for thousands of years. So, if you've ever watched Gold Rush on TV, you'll know how hard it is to actually mine this stuff out of the ground. Now, you may wonder, if it's so safe, why did I give it a 2 out of 10 on the risk scale? It all comes down to opportunity cost. You need to decide if your goal is to simply preserve your $100 from inflation or to make it grow faster by investing it in other opportunities. Investing in gold means you will lose the chance to earn more money from other investments, which makes it somewhat risky. I believe this is the ideal investment if you already have a lot of money and you just want to keep it safe. There are two different methods to invest in gold. The first method is to actually purchase physical gold, but if I buy jewelry, I don't know, gold bars, coins, and stuff like that, I would likely pay too much because the seller would want to make a profit, which means I would pay more than the actual value of the gold. The other option is to invest in gold through a broker app, like Robinhood in the US, or Trading212 in the UK. Then you can buy gold at its real value and have the choice to sell it quicker. In the US, I would look for the GLD ETF on Robinhood, which is one of the biggest gold ETFs in the world. As of June 2020, they have over 36.49 million ounces of gold in vaults around the world. As I'm currently in the UK, I will invest using Trading212 in a similar stock. And with just a click of a button, there you go. I'm now Mr. Gold. If that doesn't sound thrilling enough for you, then why don't you try a simple low-cost index fund? This is not a very risky investment. I would give it a 3 out of 10 on the risk scale. By putting only $100 every month into an index fund that has a 7% yearly return, you would end up with $123,000 after 30 years. That is how compound interest works wonders. You don't need to be an expert on the stock market to do this. I recall when Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people on the planet, wagered $1 million that a simple S&P 500 index fund would beat a portfolio of hedge funds that were picked by professionals over a decade. The challenge was over in 2017, and the outcome was revealed. Warren Buffett was the winner of the $1 million wager, which demonstrates the strength of index funds and that the ordinary person can compete with the professionals with little or no knowledge. Think of an index fund as a bag of Haribo sweets. The machine in the factory fills one bag with a variety of the most popular sweets so you can savor the best of the best without having to select and purchase each one separately. Now, swap the sweets with companies. That is the essence of an index fund. You can purchase your own bag of the most popular companies in the world, such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook, and your money is distributed among all of them. Now let's go back to the Haribos. What if you left them on the side, and they were exposed for a few days or so? They would become hard, and they wouldn't be as delicious, right? But by storing them in a container, you can avoid that from happening. This is similar to index funds, as if you leave them exposed, the government will tax you on the profits you earn, but you can shield them with a kind of container like this, which has different names in different countries. In the US, it is known as a Roth IRA. In the UK, they call it an ISA. These containers let you safeguard your money after you pay tax, and you get to keep all the profits you earn. But they are so amazing and powerful that there is a cap on how much you can put in each year. So I would act fast and max out your allowance if I were in your shoes. You can use more advanced strategies, but for this video, I will put $100 in an S&P 500 index fund, which has a 7% yearly return on average over the last 20 years. Hit the like button if you want me to make a full video on this topic, because there is so much to cover. But $100 won't cut it, because the S&P 500 is over $3,000 per share. Well, you don't actually need to buy a whole share to get in. My go-to brokers are Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Vanguard. So let's head over to Vanguard's site now and look for the S&P 500, where you can see the companies that make up the index fund so you can pick the right one. So all you need to do is set up an account. I have one already, and put in some money, and then click. There you go, done and dusted. The fourth way to put your money to work is in a real estate investment trust, or REIT for short. I will give it a 3 out of 10 on the risk scale as well. Now picture this. Your friend gathers $100 from $3,000 people. He would have $300,000. Then he uses this money to buy a property. he leases it out and shares it with all 3,000 people who helped him get the property, which helps them earn some sweet passive income. That is the gist of a REIT. It lets everyone enjoy the perks of investing in properties that generate income without having to buy one yourself. Think of it as owning a tiny piece of a property. For instance, you have the front door, someone else has the windows, and many others have all the bricks. But you all own the entire property, like offices, shopping centers, apartments, hotels, and so on, and you earn income from leasing. They are required by law to pass on 90% of all earnings to the investors as dividends. But they have a different tax treatment. The fascinating thing is, at the start of 2019, the 10-year average return for REIT ETFs outperformed the S&P 500 with an average return of 10%. If you are in the US, by putting your money in Vanguard's VGSX, you can achieve an average return of 12%, which is higher than the average return of real estate investors. Isn't that amazing? Since I am in the UK, I will use the Trading 212 website to put $100 in a similar REIT. It has a high global diversification, which means I can invest in all the rising real estate markets around the world. The next alternative is buying and selling goods. This strategy's risk level varies depending on your ability to spot bargains, but I would give it a 4 out of 10 on the risk scale. The benefit of doing this is that you can trade items that match your interests and knowledge, which can result in higher profits. I am planning to spend my $100 on either secondhand radio control model equipment or golf gear. I am curious about both of these things, so I should have a fair estimate of their value. Pokemon cards are a lucrative niche to be knowledgeable about, as their prices are soaring right now. Logan Paul just shelled out over $150,000 for a Charizard card. Can you believe that? I have been browsing Facebook Marketplace, as it is a widely accessible platform, and I came across a model engine that I am going to attempt to purchase. It is priced at £75, which is roughly $100 US. This strategy has a moderate risk level of 6.5 out of 10. There is always some risk involved when you invest in individual stocks, but it can also be very thrilling if you select your companies wisely, as you can earn a lot of money. I experienced this firsthand during the .com boom in 1995, when I managed to choose a few amazing stocks, which I quickly sold and made a fortune in a short span of time. However, when the bubble popped, some of the companies I had held onto, which I had bought for a very low price, went out of business. Luck and timing play a crucial role in stock investing. I chose these stocks using a method called fundamental analysis. This means I examined the financial statements, the market, and the leadership of the companies. This was a lot of hassle before, but now it's simple to find on Yahoo Finance. A while back, I came across an article about an experiment where they let 100 monkeys throw darts like this at the financial page of a newspaper. The stocks that the monkeys picked did better on average than the so-called smartest hedge fund managers on Wall Street. So, for this video, I thought it would be fun to try this theory. I don't have a monkey, so I have to do it on my own. I'm going to toss a dart at the board, and as you can see, I randomly selected 20 different stocks, and wherever the dart lands, that's what I'm going to invest in. Now, I just have to put on a blindfold. Okay, here we go. Oh, you hit it. Right, let's see what we got. And we've ended up with Samsung. Right, so I'm going to sign into my brokerage account and make an order for Samsung. If you want to invest your $100 in individual stock, then Webull is currently giving away 3 free stocks for a limited time when you deposit $100 into your account. So, now we're going to move into the territory of gambling and speculation rather than investing. Number 7 is cryptocurrency. This is a 9 out of 10 on the risk scale. You've probably heard of Bitcoin. This is the most popular type of crypto right now. That's a 5,000% return on your investment, and that's pretty incredible. Many people who invested in Bitcoin in the early days became millionaires overnight, but many people also lost money. If you had invested around $100 in December 2017, when Bitcoin was at an all-time high. By December 2018, you would have had less than $17 left. So, among the various types of coins, Ethereum, Ripple, and of course the big one, Bitcoin, stand out. But let's just concentrate on Bitcoin today. If you are curious about other types of coins, you can check out something called a white paper, which will provide you with all the information. The amazing thing about Bitcoin is that it uses something called blockchain, and it is not subject to government control. You also cannot produce any more Bitcoins, which prevents inflation. In my opinion, this investment will probably only be worthwhile if you are spending an extra $100 that you do not really care about. So I am going to jump onto the most popular Bitcoin app, which is called Coinbase, and put my $100 in Bitcoin and leave it alone. I hope this has cleared up some of the confusion from the other forms of investing and made them a bit more accessible for beginners. If you find this video useful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to not miss the latest videos from me. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment below. I look forward to hearing from you.